All right, let's talk about all the little changes on this new 2025 SI. Everything, everything you're going to want to know about. What's changed? Maybe, maybe it's got a CVT now. Maybe it does. Guess what? It doesn't. It doesn't. Not even close. Not even. You're nowhere near. If you think this thing, if you think they put a CVT in this thing, you're wrong. Actually, there's no change here. There's no change. So, is that a good thing? I don't know. It's still got the 1.5 liter turbo. It's not the best engine, is it? And now, especially, you're going to be, I don't know, maybe you're going to make this comparison. Are you going to compare it to the new Civic Hybrid, Sport Hybrid? You might actually, because, the power numbers are similar. In fact, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You're not going to be winning any drag races against the new Sport Hybrid Civic, are you? I mean, unless, hey, unless, you're very good with your hand and feet. I don't know. You're not going to win that battle. Let's be honest. You're going to lose that battle, but it's not just all about straight line speed with this SI. Or any of the Civics, really. I mean, it's the handling, it's the chassis, the steering feel. It's just fun to drive, right? So obviously, yes, having the manual, it's going to be a lot. This is the one you want to get, basically, right? Now, there are some benefits here, too, because we do get the new front bumper that all the Civics, including the hybrids, get. And, you might say, well, there's still no fog lights. That's true. That is true. But guess what? It's more functional, this design now, isn't it? Because these little corner intakes are air curtains, and that just basically blasts air out over the front wheels to kind of prevent the air that flows around the car. It prevents that from getting sucked into the wheels and creating unnecessary drag. So actually, yeah, maybe you might get like 1 mile per gallon better on the freeway, but the big news here is, this is the SI, this is the performance one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, high-speed acceleration, in theory, it should be a little bit better, right? If you're doing those, like, full throttle runs on, like, a freeway entrance ramp, guess what? It should be a little bit quicker at those high speeds because of the improved aerodynamics. In fact, they do say, too, there's, like, this is kind of weird. They say there's, like, a hidden spoiler down here as well that helps reduce lift. Maybe, I don't know what else it could do. Maybe it improves aerodynamics even further. So that's supposedly exclusive to the SI, but you can't see it. And now another interesting design detail here is the SI does get the black headlight bezel. It's this piece here that runs just under the headlight. It's black, it's not body color. So I know, when we talked about the Civic Hybrid, we talked about it a lot, actually, because that's what we do on this channel. We talk about cars. There's no hands-on driving here, by the way. If you're expecting me to like get behind the wheel of this thing, it's not going to happen. But anyways, here's the Sport Hybrid. You can see this piece here. It's body color. And I know a lot of you guys didn't like that. Let me know what you think of that. I do think the black, yeah, I think the black is just a better look. And then this is interesting. The SI does get some unique 18-inch wheels now. So before, it always used the same wheels as a sport model, which wasn't hey, it wasn't a bad thing. These wheels actually looked fantastic, didn't they? So this is interesting, because I do like the idea of the SI getting some bespoke wheels, something that's really going to set this thing apart from just the regular sport model. The only thing is, is it an improvement? I don't know. It does have this new matte black finish. So it's not gloss black. And kind of a cool little detail. Check this out. There's actually like this little SI logo in between a set of the spokes there. So it is a cool wheel for sure. It's a cool wheel. I don't know if it really looks better than the old wheel does. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that. And this new black sill area, this actually looks fantastic with all the other black accents, right? The lip spoiler and the black mirrors, and as we talked about, the black headlight. Actually, that might be one of my favorite updates here. So we talked about the new look, the improved aerodynamics. You might be wondering, did they actually improve anything else that would affect performance? Yeah, they did. They did. Evidently, there's some new bracing down here, somewhere around the lower B pillar and going into the floor here by the rear door. Evidently, this has been beefed up, and the overall effect is it increased the chassis rigidity, and they've taken full advantage of this, in fact. So they do say the dampers have actually been retuned because of the stiffer chassis. Now, they're not the adjustable dampers like the Type R, but still, supposedly it's going to be able to handle even better. And if you've seen any of the reviews on, the current SI, that's always been like one of the top marks, isn't it? So if they've made that even better, this would be awesome, wouldn't it? And the last little thing to note on the outside here before we get to the interior, yeah, they've added urban gray pearl. So they've been adding this color to, Honda's been expanding. They're even offering it on some of their Acura models as well because it's such a fantastic color. I've talked about this so much. These press photos, they don't do it justice. It is like a medium gray, but it's got like gold metallic flakes in it that you can see when the sun hits it. It looks incredible. Now, looking at the inside, you might say, well, it doesn't look like they've made any changes here. Well, guess what? They have. There's some big changes here. Check this out. How about a fully digital gauge cluster now? And it's not just that we get, Honda's had this on other Civics. It's not just that. Supposedly, they've integrated some shift lights in there as well. So, yeah, this is kind of what you want in an SI, isn't it? And guess what? We're just getting started here. So the standard touchscreen here, this is a 9-inch. They've added Google. So it's got Google built in. Yeah, you can see it all here. So you might like that as well. And then, if you were one of those people that was always complaining about the seats and how in Canada, in Canada you could get a whole bunch of features that they didn't put on the US models. Well, guess what? If you zoom in here real close, you can actually see, yes, we do get heated seats now, the 3-stage heated seats. So you might like that. Now there's no heated steering wheel, but still, hey, Honda did hear all of your complaining, all of your whining. They did hear it. So, and they've done something about it. And by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier with the 6-speed. It's got the rev matching feature. Yes, it's always had that. But guess what? Evidently, it didn't work if you tried going from second to first. So they've added that as well. So any gear now, basically any gear, it'll rev match if you want to. And then, one little thing too about this this is for all Civics, but it is something to note here, is that like the adaptive cruise control and the steering, the lane keep assist, it does get the updated 2025 version, which supposedly it's going to drive more naturally like a human being and not so much like a robot. So that is a nice upgrade. These systems are fantastic for road trips, and that really is the appeal with the SI, isn't it? I mean, it's got space. It's got plenty of space for 4 adults, a decent sized trunk, and especially with the 6-speed, you can really have fun with this car, and you're not going to draw a whole lot of attention to yourself. You can take it on road trips. You can take it to the track. You can do everything with this car, can't you? And you're going to have a little bit more creature comforts inside now as well. So yeah, this package was it's a fantastic package for the price, the performance, the style, everything that you get with the SI. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat this car, isn't it? So, and now guess what? For 2025, it's even better.